it's Jacob again. Back to talk some prog. We talked last time about how I sort of disagree with a lot of the aesthetic choices made in a lot of modern prog. But I also said that there's a lot of good stuff out there, and I thought I would spotlight some of that today. I'm in the studio, so I don't have all these records here, but I'm going to try to do that kind of technical wizardry thing where maybe if I point somewhere, a picture is going to show up. I don't know. I'll try. I thought I would start with, let's see, something that a lot of you already know, the Amazing Wobbler. Here's a band that really knows how to record a great sounding album. Lars Fredrik Freisley, their keyboard player, is also their mixing engineer. And he really knows his stuff. He's really into vintage recording methods and vintage sound. And somehow he manages to pull off a feat where their records sound kind of like they were recorded in 1973, but they also sound modern. They don't sound dull, like maybe some genuine 70s music does to modern ears. It's a very fine balance that he manages to strike, and I really admire him for that. His solo albums as well are just absolutely amazing, gorgeous sounding things. And of course, they're also amazing musicians. They don't need quantization or auto-tune or any of that crap. They just hit it out to the ballpark and sound fantastic. That's one recommendation. Another recommendation, sort of at the opposite end of the spectrum, is the band Aukrust, as we say in Norwegian. There's a story behind that name, I'm sure. Kind of a prog metal band that sounds awesome and does not sound overly doctored, overly processed. It sounds like a real band playing real music, but it's got a really nice, modern, punchy, clear sound, tight as F, and amazing musicians, really cool songs. Prog metal is not really my kind of genre, but they do it really well, so check out that. Let's see, what else have we got here? Some of this stuff I've been involved with, so shoot me for being biased. Agropelter, the baby of a guy named Kai Olsen who plays most of the instruments. Just a freaking amazing album that mixes a sort of 70s aesthetic with a bit of 80s aesthetic. I know that he had like early 80s Eloy as one of the references, so it's a nice mixture of sort of vintage Mellotron stuff with more of a shiny 80s sound, and I mixed the album and I tried to sort of follow that up. Again, I'm biased, but I think it's a really nice sounding record and also just amazing prog rock that straddles the vintage and the modern in a really elegant way, I think. Then we have, let's see. So there's a couple of other Norwegian bands that are related. It's Agusa, which maybe will pop up there, and their offshoot Eldsmark. Agusa, they just had a new album, which is maybe the one that I pointed to. Fucking amazing album, sort of a Uriah Heep, Atomic Rooster, very Hammond-laden stuff. Very nicely recorded, very sort of live sounding, very organic. And then, so that's a little bit on the sort of 70s heavy prog side. But then Eldsmark is more of a pastoral, very pretty, beautiful, sort of melancholy album that's also so beautifully recorded and mixed. Every sound is just crystal clear, but also really warm. There's a lot of people pulling it off. In Sweden, you have the band Agusa, that I'm a huge fan of. Never had anything to do with them, so that's unbiased. They just put out, I think it was this year, a live album, which is maybe there. That sounds so good. Live albums are hard. And I think especially for modern bands that maybe don't get that much, especially in the prog world, bands don't get that much live experience. So the whole thing about playing live is maybe not something they're super used to, which means that if you're going to record a live album, either it's going to have to be pretty heavily processed and edited after the recording, and it's not going to sound great. Or if you want like a really genuinely live recording, but the band is a little bit untight, then, it's not going to be a great listening experience. Agusa clearly have a lot of experience. They're such a great live band, and that live album is absolutely stunning. Like, I'm jealous. It's so good. So that's my final recommendation. This is just a short video just to throw in some positive recommendations. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.